Happy Saturday, everyone. Hope everyone's having a great weekend. I just wanted to visit about Saitama for a minute. I'm looking at the 1 hour chart here. Obviously, it had bottomed out, a few day or two ago, quite low. Russ and the team did an AMA. It has since pumped since the announcement that they are going to migrate over to V2. It has retraced a little bit, but seems to be a little bit of positive strength coming into the chart. So good to see. Jump over to their Telegram and jump over to their Twitter. And there's a link on their Twitter here for the AMA. So you can go back and watch the AMA that they had yesterday. And there's also a link for a Google PDF document so that you can go through everything with the V2. I'm going to jump over to that. So I know they are getting away from the Inu completely. So the Inu will be dropped from the name for sure. And they're trying to, reestablish themselves as more of a professional token, in my opinion, rather than the meme coin, anime space, all that good stuff. So it's good to see that they're doing that. Just give a more serious look to the project. I won't read through everything here, but I will put this in the description in the video here so you guys can go check all this out. So, the liquidity is set to unlock here very soon. So they're talking about relocking liquidity V1 or move to an upgraded V2 contract, which they are moving to a V2 contract. So the Saitama V2, it'll have added security with multi-sig wallets and ownership of LP, flexibility to update the contract as token and use case evolve, could alter tokenomics to help us grow faster and sustain that growth, leave the meme token category behind, reduce our supply, and whitelist CEXs. So I think it is a major move that needs to be made for them to get on major centralized exchanges. The token supply is extremely high in the current V1. So for them to go to the V2, they're going to cut the supply down to 100 billion, I believe. Scroll down here to that page with the tokenomics of everything. So they're going to cut it down to 100 billion supply. So the total circulating supply will be 43 billion. The burned amount of the supply will be approximately 57 billion. So major, it'll lose, I believe it'll be 6 zeros difference from what it is right now. That does not mean that the tokens will be worth more. So if you have a certain amount of tokens right now, go to the V2, it'll be less 6 zeros, but the total value of the tokens will be exactly the same as what it is now. So on the Saitama V2, there'll be a 5% total tax and regular burn event scheduled. So let's break down that 5% tax, 1.25% burn, 1.75% project funding, which would be marketing, 1% distribution to token holders, and then 1% liquidity. It's a low tax. I think that's a smart move on their part. So support and migration plan. So they have the whole plan, pre-migration, post-migration, everything that's going to happen. It's showing we are here right now. Engage exchanges and coin tracker platforms to coordinate internal migrations. So each individual exchange will have an internal migration. Saitama V2 deployment on mainnet, final checks, audits. I know they will be having multiple more AMAs to answer the community's questions and everything. They'll coordinate with CMC, Dex Tools, CoinGecko, and everything on the new contract address and all that information. They have not announced when they're officially going to halt trading completely on the V1 and migrate to the V2, but that will be coming out in the near future. So it looks like it's broken up into 2 different airdrops. If you hold over a certain amount of tokens, there'll be a phase 1 airdrop. And then if you're under a certain amount of tokens, there'll be a phase 2 airdrop. So very, very curious to see as this unfolds, what will happen. Will people become more bullish on Saitama? They've lost a lot of faith from a lot of investors since, end of last summer /fall. So can they recover? Can they rebound? I'm curious to see if they'll use EverRise, the EverMigrate, to migrate from the V1 to V2. I've been part of several other tokens that did a migration through EverRise, including Volt and a few other ones. And the EverMigrate was very, very simple. It went very well. And most of the tokens that did do that migration had a pretty significant run up through the migration and weeks into following the migration into the V2. So could Saitama see that same kind of price action? Could they see a good run up and continued bullish sentiment and upward movement on the charts, even weeks after, months after the migration to the V2? So I'm just curious, what are you guys' thoughts? Are you guys still bullish on Saitama? Have you cashed out of Saitama and just you're not looking at it anymore? It's done and over with, and you're moved on to other things. Do you think there's a possible chance that they could do really well with this migration? Or do you think it's still dead and people are just going to use it as a ploy to be able to, jump in, ride the run up, sell off, and cash out? I'm not speaking my opinion one way or the other. I'm just kind of watching it from the background and seeing how this all unfolds. And, we'll see what happens. I'm sure there'll be money to be made. And I wish the team and Russ success and the Wolfpack success through this migration. I hope it goes well, and I hope it is successful. But we shall see. Obviously, the big thing is going to be, can they meet deadlines? Will they make announcements and then keep their promises on everything? Will they have 100% transparency to the community? It's all questions that will be answered in the near future. So we'll see what happens. Leave your comments below. Let me know your thoughts on it. Will it go good? Will it fail? Are you bullish? Are you bearish on it? Let me know. We'll talk to you on the next one. Y'all have a great weekend. Peace.